What if I did this video in 23 different personalities?
What if I did this video in 23 different personalities?
Yo man, what if I did this video in like 23 different personalities? Don't worry, I'm not gonna put you guys through that. Brandon here with another GGG Saw It, and actually our second M. Night Shyamalan movie. You can watch our review for The Visit right here. The Visit was a movie I actually really liked, and it surprised me how well it uses some found footage elements. Even though M. Night's made some movies I'm not very fond of, I do like him as a filmmaker. I appreciate this guy's passion for storytelling. I mean, if you've heard him talk about movies or film in general, he just really seems like a down-to-earth guy, and he still is passionate about making movies now as he was when he made The Sixth Sense or Signs. Movies like The Village, The Happening, and The Last Airbender might have not been very popular, but he's still willing to experiment and tell a thrilling story. All that being said, Split marks what is possibly his best achievement in filmmaking, and is a movie I walked away from feeling energized and thinking about for a really long time. We actually saw Split way back in November 2016 as part of the AFI Film Festival at the Chinese Theater in LA. That was our first time seeing a movie there, and that place definitely holds the title of a movie palace really well. It's just a beautiful, historic room to see a movie in. At the screening, M. Night Shyamalan, James McAvoy, Anya Taylor-Joy, and Betty Buckley were actually in attendance, so it was a really cool night seeing the film and hearing them talk about it right after. Due to it being a pre-release screening, we actually had to sign a non-disclosure agreement, keeping us from posting this video until now, but luckily it's opening weekend, so it's fair game. The plot of Split is that Kevin, played by James McAvoy, kidnaps 3 young girls and holds them captive. At first we don't know what his motive is, but the 3 girls soon find out Kevin is even more frightening because he's only one of 23 dual personalities. What's fascinating is that each personality is aware of the others, treating them as completely separate people. Little by little we learn about a possible 24th personality known as the Beast, and the girls try desperately to escape before being confronted with this literal monster. Now, a lot of buzz around Split is of course going to be related to James McAvoy's performance, or you should say performances. He really owns this movie. He's labeled in the cast as Kevin, but each personality is so different that they feel like completely different characters. McAvoy is absolutely brilliant in Split. While the majority of the 24 personalities are at least mentioned in the plot of the movie, the script generally focuses on the characters of Kevin, Barry, Miss Patricia, Dennis, and Hedwig. The way McAvoy changes his accent, language, facial expressions, mannerisms are all really distinct. Keep in mind, he's changing genders and he's changing age between characters, and it's really fun to watch him act in this movie. It's also important to note, James McAvoy's normal talking voice is with a Scottish accent, yet he's such a damn good actor that he pulls off some really challenging performances, and with his dialogue, he convinces you that he's a man living with multiple personalities. This movie is something any actor or actress will love watching. There's a scene near the end of the film where he's switching on a dime between different personalities over and over again with no break in talking, and it's something I could see in an Oscar nomination reel. It's really incredible. Shyamalan's script jumps around from psychological drama to suspenseful escape attempts of the 3 girls. By the end of the movie, M. Night's tied a couple of different themes together in an impressive and engaging way. We find out the main characters Kevin and Casey are not so different after all, and there's messages about elevating oneself to the highest potential and rising above our past to move on from who we used to be. All that deep stuff and McAvoy's performance aside, I want to highlight 3 things that make Split a success. First, Split doesn't rely on a gigantic twist ending like many of M. Night's prior movies. Instead, the climax is gradually reached as we see Kevin becoming more and more unhinged and get a peer deeper into his psyche in several dialogue scenes with his therapist. As the plot unfolds, I started second guessing how far this movie is going to go with the character of the Beast. They tease midway through the movie that some people with this split personality condition can even change their body chemistry. So I'm wondering while I'm watching this, is the Beast a real thing? Will it just be another personality that's really violent? Or will this get really cheesy and we'll get a transformation scene where he turns into some furry wolf-like creature? Luckily, the way M. Night does the Beast is both tasteful and intense in the final act. I love the shot of him running full speed down the street, or when he's the Beast and he's prying the bars apart, and just his body transformation was genuinely intimidating. The second aspect of Split I really enjoyed is how well the film balances suspense, horror, psychological drama, and even some comedy. Seeing Dennis, Hedwig, and Patricia interact with the kidnapped girls is extremely suspenseful. Each personality is so different with different motives and different desires. As the viewer, you're wondering who's going to come out next and if they're going to be violent or someone we haven't seen yet. All of this is then mirrored really well with the therapy sessions between Barry and his doctor, Dr. Fletcher. The probing questions Dr. Fletcher asks because she is so aware of Barry's different personalities help you get into his head. His hiding of Dennis and hiding of the other characters make those therapy sessions fascinating to watch. Then there's even the light moments with Hedwig that can be comical, sad, unnerving, and a mixture of all three, like when Hedwig does his fantastic dance number. My final thought about Split is it never tries to become a violent, gory slasher because that just wouldn't make sense for this type of movie. Split is a psychological horror thriller. Like a lot of Hitchcock's greatest films, the magic in the story lies with the rather mundane and commonly used plot device that starts off the movie. Hitchcock called this plot device the MacGuffin. In Split, it's the opening scene, a kidnapping. Yet as the movie unravels, it's not so much about the kidnapping, but about Casey and Kevin's personality exchanges and the meaning behind the beast. Split doesn't rely on special effects or hardcore character makeup, just great acting. Thanks so much for watching this Saw It review on M. Night Shyamalan's Split. Once you've seen the movie, post in the comments who your favorite James McAvoy character or personality was. Like this video and please click subscribe so we can keep growing Ghouls, Guts, and Gore. As always, stay horrible.